To understand how bad the economy has gotten, I need you to understand that 10 years ago, that's not a long time, by the way.
Why is gas $5 a gallon?
I need you to be honest, how much are you spending on groceries a month?
Only in America do you have to pay extra just to eat real food.
All right, explain this. Here, the price for chicken in Canada is $24 for 1.346 kilograms, which is about 3 pounds. And in the USA, the price is...
In the USA, if you check this price point here, that ends up being 4 pounds for $7.98, which when converted to Canadian is actually about $11. You do the math on the difference between Canada and the USA, it's about $2.75 a pound here in the USA versus in Canada, it's $8 Canadian per pound. So can someone please explain the difference?
Went to my local supermarket this weekend and paprika was literally $8 and I just need like the refill packet, so I decided to go to my local Mexican supermarket. Usually I go to the Indian store, but both of these were $2, so you know, might as well just stock up on all your spices, just as a reminder.
Doritos selling for $7 a bag ended up costing PepsiCo billions. That is the headline here. Crazy. Yeah, according to Bloomberg News. Probably not big enough, Romaine, but right now, PepsiCo, it's actually going to slash prices by up to 15% on some of their salty snacks after sales plunged and the company missed internal revenue targets for 2 years
So the idea they learned that if we charge people $7 for a bag of Doritos, they won't actually buy those Doritos? Is that demand destruction?
It's exactly what it is.
Dorito demand destruction? Yeah. Did they have to put this into Claude to figure this out, or like a spreadsheet?
So there is the willingness to pay did not go to $7 for a bag?
Huh.
Okay.
To understand how bad the economy has gotten, I need you to understand that 10 years ago, that's not a long time, by the way. 10 years ago at Chick-fil-A, okay? They used to have a meal, a combo meal. I think it was either the number 1 or the number 3. The entire meal, the sandwich, the drink, the fries, the large, by the way. Large drink, large fries, sandwich together cost $6.66. Once they realized that, because they're like, oh no, Jesus don't like that. We can't do that. They made it 1 cent more. This combo cost $6.67. $6.67. 2 days ago, I attempted to go to Chick-fil-A and get that exact same meal. It was $17. This is the bad place.
Craig, Savannah, good morning. The International Energy Agency has already declared this the worst oil disruption in history. And guys, while we may think about paying more at the pump, this crisis has such a wider reach, from higher airline baggage fees to selling items on Amazon to the price of produce at the grocery store. The trickle-down effect of oil is turning into a deluge.
With the ongoing war in Iran, this morning Americans are facing the ripple effects of rising fuel costs. The average gallon of gas now $4.12, the highest in 4 years. And crude oil now surpassing $110 a barrel as the critical Strait of Hormuz remains closed.
It's just kind of outrageous how much it's jumped recently. And it just seems to be going up every other day.
The price of jet fuel soaring too as airfares are rising. JetBlue and United Airlines are both hiking bag fees, with JetBlue's peak travel price going from $40 to $49, and United's up $10 a bag for domestic flights.
I'm paying $150 just on the way there for an extra bag. I'm not happy about it.
Even Amazon citing elevated costs in fuel and logistics, now adding a temporary 3.5% surcharge for third-party sellers, set to take effect later this month. And higher diesel fuel costs are also driving up grocery prices, especially those requiring refrigeration, which consume more energy to transport. In Nashville, store owner Luke Watson says he's preparing to pay more to stock his shelves.
We anticipate it coming. We've started to feel it a little bit.
Some analysts warn the oil shock could slow the economy across the board.
What should the expectation be for the typical consumer in the next couple of weeks or months?
Consumers should expect higher prices, not just at the pump, but starting to bleed through other parts of the supply chain. And that means at the grocery store, that means for airline tickets, but that also means for interest rates.
So here is another key point that cannot get lost here. Even if the Federal Reserve does not raise rates to address rising inflation, that does not mean that investors aren't going to drive up what you pay for your 30-year mortgage or your credit cards or your car loans if they're not fixed. When U.S. Treasuries are seen as riskier, as they are right now, yields go up, and so do your payments.
Yeah.
So, guys, it's going to be a bumpy road here.
$5 used to mean something. As a kid growing up in New York City, $5 could get you far. $5 could carry you through the whole day. You could get breakfast and after school eats with $5. You could start off with a butter roll or a bagel and cream cheese for $1. You could do a bagel, cream cheese, and jelly for $1.25. You could do bagel, cream cheese, and bacon for $1.50 to $2, depending on where you go. You could do a beef patty with or without cheese for $1 to $1.50. You could do a bacon, egg, and cheese or sausage, egg, and cheese for $2 to $2.50, again, depending on where you go. Then for your bev, you could do a bummy, tropical fantasy, 50 cents. In Arizona, $1. For the girlies who are fancy, they love the Mystic tropical drinks. Then, if you wanted some pizzazz, some razzle dazzle, you could get 5 Jolly Ranchers for 25 cents. Or the hamburgers, 5 of those for 25 cents. You could get a 25 cents bag of chips. So, you know, it's a full meal. And that was great. Then after school, with whatever you had left over, you could get a $1 slice and a bev. You could hit up the Chinese spot and get french fries and 2 chicken wings or just french fries. Some people used to get egg rolls and just call it a day. Or you could go to McDonald's and actually get something from their dollar menu. There was so many options. $5 used to have weight. It used to make movement. Now, what the hell can $5 really do? $5 don't do nothing. For parents now, how much do y'all gotta give y'all kids a day? What is their daily spending like? $5 could take you far. If you had $7 or $10, you were living big. You were doing it big. But $5 was like a minimum that could satisfy so many things. Now, you can't do shit with $5. I can spend $5 on one drink at Dunkin' Donuts. It doesn't have the same effect. A bacon, egg, and cheese now is what? $3.50 to $4.50? How unserious. They don't even have like the quarter bag chips anymore. They don't have those. The only thing that has stayed consistent is Arizona being $1. Everything else has really gone up. It's truly a shame because I took for granted what $5 was back in the day, and I always thought $5 would be able to still have that motion and still be able to get you far in 2026. Look at us now. It can't do shit.
This is interesting, Scott. A pound of beef is now more expensive than the minimum wage, so I'm told. What does that say about the economy?
Well, I tell you, the minimum wage hasn't changed in 17 years, since 2009, and it's $7.25. Yep. But the last time they moved it up to $7.25 in 2009, Stuart, a pound of ground beef averaged around $2.20 a pound. Today, it's $8.34 a pound. Now, maybe you could argue that maybe minimum wage, if you're in that camp, needs to be moved higher. But still, it goes to show you how prices in general, not just beef, because I know a lot of cattlemen say they get a hard time. A lot of people don't talk about all the other things that have gone up in price, just like beef has. But it goes to show you what food prices have really done here recently, since probably 2019, against, say, 82,000 people that make minimum wage, how hard it is for them to put beef on the table now.
What's up, America? I'm here at a grocery store in Indiana, and I'm going to check out the ridiculous meat prices. By the way, prices for meat, they haven't been coming down. It's worse than it's ever been. Let's take a look. Or nearly as bad as it's ever been. So I'm going to start with pork prices because those are still low. $5 or $10, so they're about $1 a pork chop. That's average. But then we have the stew meat. We got $13, $17 for cube steak. Stew meat is expensive. The steak is expensive as hell. Some of the highest I've seen. Same over there. Good Lord. Let's do $25.99. Yeah, good God. So look at that, $35. Yeah, that's insane. These meat prices we're looking at what? $7.50. There's a 3 pound, so that's going to be more. You got $12 right there. $12 for Kroger beef patties. $10 for 4. right there. Chicken is cheap though. Not bad. But you can see, except for bacon, pork is fairly cheap, but then you have steak is crushing it. $8 a pound for beef. It's killing it. And sausage, still not a bad price on sausage. So it's mainly just beef. Now sausage is a little high. Here's all the lunch meat. We're looking at high price for beef bologna because it's better. Then you have your bacon prices. Still $8, $8. 7.5 if you have it. Still pretty high. So that's your meat prices here in the Midwest. Go to a butcher. Jesus Christ.
What's up, TikTok? It's your boy Chris, and I am back in Philly. I haven't driven my car in possibly over a month because I live in New York now and I don't really need a car there. Last time I got gas was like $3.09, and I know gas prices has went up recently. Let's see how much it's gonna cost me to fill up my tank today. It looks like gas today is gonna be $3.99 for me. Filling up. I always try to round it up to the nearest dollar. Yes, $56 it cost me to fill up gas this time. Compared to $40 even last time I filled up my tank. Alrighty guys, thank you for coming on the journey with me. Not too thrilled that I paid $56 to fill 14 gallons, but it is what it is. Hopefully it goes down pretty soon. Hopefully during the summer when I'm going to be driving more often. But it is what it is, and you got to be grateful that luckily I am working and I can afford gas right now, even though it is crazy expensive. But you just got to be grateful. See you guys on my journey next time.
Here at the world's most expensive grocery store, my family of 4 living in Hawaii. I'm just gonna get a few things to sustain me through the week. Bananas, $1.49 a pound. I think I'm gonna get some kabocha. You wanna do a plum or a nectarine? They're still kind of hard, and they're $5 a pound. Can you get a bag for me, son? 3. Yeah, I need eggs. I need like 2 dozen eggs. I also need bread. This bread is $7. I'm gonna get some cheese. My child just drinks the loads of milk. He's obsessed with milk. I've been doing organic for breastfeeding, so we've just been going through milk, y'all. Wants a chocolate milk. Everything else, I'm gonna go to Target eventually, but that's like stuff we just need right now. Let's see how much it's gonna be. All right, what do you guys think the price was? Just take a guess on just those items. It was a whopping $74.88 for all of that. What do you think? Do you think it's worth it?
So according to AAA, the price of gas on average in the United States right now is $4.11. Now, if you go to California, you're going to be paying $5.97 on average. Folks, let me know how much gas is in your area, whether you're in Canada or the United States, etc. In Britain, in Europe, Australasia. Let me know what the price of gas is for you. And just remember, there's only one person to blame for this, and you all know what his name is, don't you?
A content creator in Canada answered some questions I had relating to Canada, which was very nice of him. His name is Johnny, and he said in his video, if you even see this video, which I did. So now I'm going to answer your questions.
And if you even see this video, I'd be more than happy to supply all the measurements.
Since the metric system is different from Canada to America, I do appreciate that.
I'm genuinely curious how much it would be for the same items.
We're talking about the comparison in prices of groceries from Canada to the US.
A thing of yogurt.
A thing of yogurt, $2.64, 1 kilo.
Bacon.
Bacon, $3.96, 12 ounces.
Eggs.
Dozen eggs, $3.49.
2 pounds of ground beef.
1 kilogram of ground beef, $17.77.
Milk.
4 liters of milk, $4.19.
Almost a kilogram of chicken.
Chicken breast, half kilo, $8.07.
And cheddar cheese.
Cheddar cheese, 8 ounces, $1.87.
Spaghetti.
This brand of pasta, no matter what you get, spaghetti macaroni, $1.84 a pound.
Bread, pasta sauce.
Unfortunately, my phone died while recording, but the whole wheat bread that you showed was $2.49, and a 28-ounce can of pasta sauce was $1.89.
The total comes to $66.21 Canadian.
I priced these items at Walmart. The total came to $46.34 United States dollars. The currency exchange for one United States dollar is $1.39 Canadian. So now, if you take the $1 and you put in $46.34, you got $64.63 Canadian. With that said, one Canadian dollar is 0.7172 US dollars. If you run through the math and the exchange, at the end of the day, that $5, you guys would have had $1.16 left over. But remember, I had 81 cents change. So in reality, it would have cost you 35 cents more. Basically, no matter what side of the border you live on, we're all fucked. Johnny, thank you so much for taking the time to break that down for me. That was really cool of you. Everybody else, thank you for watching. Round 2. Johnny, how much is a large pepperoni pizza, a 2-liter Pepsi, and a large chicken parmesan at your local pizzeria? I'll be waiting your answer to compare prices. I appreciate it. Until next time.
Eating out in LA is so expensive and no one talks about the tax and tip. So here's how much it actually costs to eat out in LA. First, I tried proper sit-down meals. I went to Mel's Drive-In and then IHOP. Food itself didn't seem that bad at first, but then you've got your tax on top, and then on top of that you've got your tip. And all of a sudden for breakfast you're looking at $60 for 2. Don't get me wrong, the food was really good, but when you're here for 10 days it can soon add up. Bearing in mind that is just for breakfast, so the first meal of the day. One thing to remember when you're in America is the price you see is not the price you pay. It feels way more expensive than it actually looks. On to fast food, I tried Panda Express and In-N-Out. Here's the difference, both of these meals came to under $30. Biggest thing with fast food is that you don't need to give a tip, unless you actually want to because you got good service. Main thing is it's not actually expected. Instantly, it feels way more affordable and a lot less stressful. Yeah, it's fast food, but you're still getting a full meal and decent prices. Most of the portion sizes in America for takeaway food are usually huge anyway. I'm not gonna lie, after making this, I completely understand why people go for fast food. Those extra costs, they just add up so fast.
I need you to be honest, how much are you spending on groceries a month? Because it's just me and my partner and we're spending about $1,000 a month. He has a specific diet, he doesn't eat high carb foods, so there is that. That definitely doesn't help. But that's not even counting eating out. That's $250 a week just on groceries.
So I live in California, you guys, specifically Orange County, California. I just got gas and I almost threw up. First I thought it said $42. I'm like, that can't be right. No, it's a $92, you guys. $92, almost $100 to fill up my car. And I don't have a crazy car. It's a Lexus, like a sedan. What is going on? I don't know, but how are people affording to live here? I don't get it. I mean, I've lived here all my life. So it's like, I'm kind of used to everything being expensive, but this is probably the most I've ever paid for gas.
Be funny. I've kind of lived here all my life. So I'm kind of rich, but not $100 for gas every week kind of rich.
Every day it's something new. So now he's going to ask Congress for $1.5 trillion out of taxpayers' money to fund the military for 2027. That's the highest that any president has ever asked for. He also wants to cut Medicaid and Medicare, SNAP, and all that again because, I mean, we're in a war, guys. Duh. So, once again, what is he doing for us? Nothing. Nothing but raising prices. Nothing but putting us all in debt. This is insane. I just can't do this anymore.
Why is gas $5 a gallon? And like, why do I have to pay rent? And why is rent so high? And why do I have to drive my car and get the gas that I have to get to go to the job that I have to pay for rent? Why do I have to do all of that stuff? And why are you making it so fucking expensive to do it? I don't even want to get out and pump my gas. It feels like getting out and just knowing someone's gonna fucking stab you. Why would you get out? This is the beginning of life. What am I supposed to do forever? It's gonna fucking worse.
Only in America do you have to pay extra just to eat real food. Only in America do you have to pay extra for food that isn't messed with. They call it organic. In Kenya, it's just vegetables. It isn't organic vegetables. They haven't added all this stuff. So in Kenya, you're just paying for one thing and one thing only. A banana's a banana. An apple's an apple. In the US, you got organic bananas and organic apples. And if you so happen to want the organic, which is the real food, your grandmother isn't growing organic food in Kenya. Your grandmother's just growing food, vegetables, fruits, right? They don't need the label. So here, if you're gonna buy the organic food here, you're gonna pay extra. So the question is, did America upgrade the food or did they downgrade it and then charged you to fix it?